Ever have things pile up one right after the other to the point you're not sure how you're going to get out of it? I'm going to give you a couple of secrets on how to and do it successfully right now. Welcome to Super Shea Tutorials. I'm Danny Shea. This is your Monday motivation. So we're talking about how to deal with problems, and a lot of them. You know, when things start building up over the course of time, or even right at the same time, how do you deal with that? First and foremost, we got to look at your mind. Your mind is a very powerful tool in overcoming obstacles. So how you look at it is going to determine how quickly you come out of all of those issues, whatever they may be. So let's look at this for a second. I had something happen just like this over the past couple of weeks. First of all, I injured my ankle. I rolled it. I was doing one of my karate forms, and I landed wrong on a move, and my ankle went one way, the rest of me went the other. So that kind of put me on the injured reserve for a few days. Then the next day, my wife hurt herself. Then shortly thereafter, my microwave went out. And I mean, it was like a huge group of things that all seemed to happen at the same time. So how do you deal with that? I look at it in many different ways. The most important way, however, was brought to my attention by a very good friend. So thank you for helping me out with this, Jorge. He messaged me and, he said, all this stuff is happening. How are you doing? I was like, I'm good. I have wonderful friends that check up on me. I have, the 4th of July weekend to let it heal. So I'm very, very fortunate in the timing that it happened. And I just so happens that when the microwave went out, we had enough in our account to, cover it. So as opposed to feeling like everything is coming down on me, I feel pretty blessed because all of these things may have happened at the same time, but I had the ability to take care of them. It may have stretched to a point of almost on the brink, but I had what I needed. So I'm very, very thankful, very grateful for that. And that occurred to me why I needed to make this video, because a lot of people, I guess, don't understand how to handle when things all happen at the same time. So here is one way, and it's my personal favorite way. It's the way I usually take care of situations like this. First, and I know this is going to sound very, very old school, I pull out a sheet of paper and a pen. You can do this on your phone, I suppose, if you have like a notes app or, Pages or whatever, Word. But I take out a piece of paper and a pen and I write down every problem that's happening, one by one. And I rank them. I rank them in order of importance and in order of how big a problem they are. So once I'm done with this, the second thing I do, I look at that list and I say, what is priority and what can I take care of right now? That's really, really important. The one that you can take care of right now, that is probably the most important one, because that's the one that gets the ball rolling. Because as you start to do things, and I usually start with the smallest one, whichever is easiest to fix, because as you do that, you're going to start to gain confidence. When you gain confidence, you start to feel better about things, and you start to feel better about your outcome. So I look at this list, I say, this one's the easiest to deal with. That's the one I'm going to do first. This is the one that's most important. That is my end goal. That's what I want to get to. So I go through the list in that manner. I go through what's easiest, what needs to be done as quickly as possible, and what's going to take some time. And I kind of rank them in that order, and I start running through them with whichever one I can deal with now. And then the next one, and the next one. And before you know it, after you've gone through a few of them, you're like, you know what? I can handle this. I can deal with this. I'm going to be okay. And then once you're done with that list, which usually does not take as long as you feel like it's going to when you look at it, but usually you're done with it before you know it. And you're like, man, I can't believe I was there. I can't believe I got out of it, and how quickly I got out of it. The problem usually comes when you start looking at that list as a single unit. As all things have to be done right now, it looks insurmountable. So don't look at it that way. Look at it as each one is its own separate issue. I can deal with them one at a time. Super important tip. That is how I handle anything that comes my way. And I'm, still here. So I'm doing something right. I might scrape by, but I am still scraping by. So that's a good thing. I'm going to leave you with a couple of quotes that are probably my favorite of all time, and you'll see these on my Facebook page. If you're not on that, you should be. I post something positive every single day. But these two are my favorite because they kind of go hand in hand. So they go like this. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. That's the first one, and that's kind of powerful because you can't control 90% of what the world throws at you. But that only takes up about 10% of what life is really all about. 90% of life is how you react to all that stuff that's happening. How are you handling it? How are you looking at it? How are you taking care of it? The second quote, by far, my personal favorite of all time. And it's this. An arrow can only reach its full potential by being drawn back. So when the world is drawing you back with problems, with issues, keep aiming. Before you know it, you'll be shot into greatness. Thank you all for being here. I hope this helps, and I hope you all have a phenomenal awesome day and a phenomenal awesome week.